Welcome, welcome to a bold and distant future. This is Roy here, helping you and helping us bear witness to the world's pain. That's what I think what we're doing here in this crazy show feels that way. I know Eddie's here to bear the pain with us.
Rock on.
You ready, Eddie?
I'm ready.
All
Although
right.
I have to adjust that. It's
What?
not necessarily the world's pain as much as it is the United States' pain.
Yeah, I guess it's very personal.
I mean, it does go out and connect to the rest of the world, but here it's like, yeah.
I think you're right. You know, this program has a far reach, and anyone with a YouTube, an app on their phone can dial in on this program. There was a lot happening this week, but it feels like the mass hypnosis and the momentum is slowing down or something. So I found a couple of pieces today that maybe help us think that things are still progressing in some way or another, but I probably skipped over a lot of important news stories. But it's whatever grabs us.
One of the things that I thought was really incredible was that there's another judge that decided to block the attempt to eliminate the birthright of people born here. I think that's really a big one.
I need to look at that too, because again, that court case, I've heard inklings about that story, but I haven't followed it closely.
I haven't either. I just saw it this morning.
Well, that's good. The courts are that final guardrail, that word people love to use, the guardrail. It does seem like the final thing that holds us from just falling completely apart.
To a certain degree.
To a certain degree. Speaking of falling apart, this happened at the White House on the 4th of July. We broadcast our last episode on the morning of the 4th, and this was the evening. The president and his wife with this eerie lighting on them, which makes them more sinister than anything, looking up at the fireworks. And then in Columbus, Ohio, people went out on a march, a protest.
Good for them.
I looked for protests where I was at on the 4th of July, and I couldn't find any.
There's a heck of a lot of signage there too, and it looks more like homemade than the, how you go to a march and there's a few organizations that are handing out their pre-made signs.
Yeah.
That one looked like mostly homemade.
Yeah, it looked really organic in a way, and you think Ohio, you think middle of America, where they should be, enjoying 4th of July in other kind of ways than marching on the street, but that's what they decided to do, and my hat's off to the citizens of Ohio for hitting the streets. Half of the little pictures I put in, the hard part is determining the date of what we're looking at. There might be, an ICE abduction or something, and I have to go and see what date was this. I want to make sure it's current and up to date, because a lot of things, they come by my newsfeed. It's hard to determine when they happened. A week ago, 2 months ago.
I don't know if you've got it in the mix, but did you see that ICE cowboy shot of the 10 or so horse-mounted ICE members riding through MacArthur Park in LA?
I don't know if I've got that or not.
Oh my God, I just was like, are you joking me?
LA is so militarized now in the biggest way. I mean, probably in the most militarized city, although it's not martial law or anything. But, well, these idiots were out on the streets too. Can we call them idiots? God, these...
Looks like a Catholic school. They're all dressed in the same uniform.
This is the Patriot Front down on July 5th. That's Saturday in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. Marching out on the streets.
Most of them even have the same shoes. That's scary.
It's such a horrible color combination. It looks like they work at Best Buy. So this is more further intimidation. It pains me. I'm bearing witness to this pain.
Are they carrying guns? I can't tell from that photo. It's a little
I
fuzzy.
don't think they do carry any kind of sort of guns, but they do carry a lot of sort of Christian imagery, like they carry a crucifix, and they carry these, of course, the Confederate flag and the American flag and their own little logos. They're a very white nationalist kind of Christian group that look like they're trying to give off a militarized sort of, presence.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that load up in those stupid U-Haul trucks and plop themselves down in the center of a city, and 30 of them peel out of a U-Haul truck like a bunch of clowns coming out of a clown car at the circus, all masked, and they hit the streets, they do their march, and they get right back on their trucks and go. It's a very weird, coordinated event they do. But we should be aware of them. It seems like it's not happening. It's happening more in the middle of America, Kentucky, the South, and things like that. One thing I'll say is that this app I'm going to show, called the ICE app, is something that anyone with an iPhone should get. I don't know when that comes up in the storyline here, but we'll see it in a minute. Trump is threatening to sue CNN again, and this may be old news, but I wanted to put it in the show because it's just further intimidation and threats of, legal action by the White House whenever you say anything that counters their message. I guess they tried to push back against his claim that the strikes had been obliterated Iran's nuclear program.
We already know that it's only set back just a matter of months,
Yeah.
according to the reports on the ground. I thought it was also interesting that, speaking of suits, that Mahmoud Khalil is filing a $20 million suit against the Trump administration and ICE for wrongful arrest.
Oh, really?
You didn't? Yeah, that came up yesterday, actually, but it's still in the news this morning.
I've got to get that one on. That will be very interesting.
Yeah,
follow.
won't it?
Yeah.
Forward to seeing how that plays out.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Well, here's CNN basically standing. They said, "We stand 100% behind Natasha Bertrand's journalism, and specifically her and her colleagues reporting on the early intelligence assessment of the U.S. attack on Iran's nuclear facilities." CNN's reporting made it clear that this was an initial finding that could change with additional intelligence. So they were giving a preliminary report, and Trump didn't like that. I mean, half of what they're doing, in my view, is it's all about spin and PR control, and they want to paint that the Iran operation, the mission, what was it? I forgot the name of the mission, as a success. And if they can get a couple of people up there on the screen saying it was a success, they've got their little...
That really plays into the whole idea that he doesn't have a lot of success in all the crap that he's trying. Now he's tossing tariffs out again as of this morning. And a lot of what he has tried hasn't stuck. He's involved at least 200 lawsuits against things he's tried to do by a stroke of the pen, if you know what I'm saying. And
Right.
And he's not really batting 1,000, but he wants everybody to believe that he's batting 1,000.
Yeah, it's like the Wizard of Oz. Don't look behind the curtain,
Yeah.
It's classic Wizard of Oz. Maybe he watched that movie as a kid and that's what he got from it. I could be the wizard pulling the strings behind the scenes, have that scary face that threatens and intimidates everyone, while I'm just the bumbling whatever behind the curtains pulling all the levers.
Well, he's not staying behind the curtain. He's jumping out onto the golf course. He's got 22% of his time in office right now. 1/5, a little over 1/5 of his time in office spent on the golf course.
Wow.
That's what we're paying for. That's how we're getting rid of waste and fraud. We're paying for his golf game
Yeah.
and all the security that has to go into every single time he's out there.
Well, it
which
just makes me
people
question.
estimate between 1 and 3 million per game.
It makes me question who's running the country, you know? Who's really pulling the strings? Well, Ice Age, this is our ICE segment, and ICE agents snuck into an immigration court in San Francisco, and lots of citizens are getting in the way, and they're disrupting ICE's, movements or whatever they're doing, their progress, which is good.
Well, I've got a question there because traditionally what I've seen in pictures is that they're always masked, just like this picture. How would they get into a court with a mask on?
I guess they flash the badge. Well, that will lead into the next story at the end here. I think it's somewhere in here about something that Cory Booker and Padilla, Congressman Padilla or Senator?
Yeah,
No, Senator Padilla
Padilla.
are putting forth. Maybe you heard about this. It's they're putting forth a bill in the House that they want people to vote on that would mandate that all federal officials are unmasked and have clearly legible badges.
Right. I did see that.
Did you? Okay, so
I haven't seen where it's gone since I first saw it, which was, I don't know, a week or 10 days ago, but I
Okay.
did see it, and I haven't heard much about it since.
Well, I just heard about it 2 days ago, so it's weird how these timelines. There's so much stuff out there, but these kinds of things again don't hit the news a lot in the normal news.
You already said it. Yeah, they want to control the feed.
That's right. Well, this is the app that I recommend people get on their phone. It's called Ice Block. And Ice Block is an app that lets you announce ice is in my neighborhood or where I'm at right now, and you can pinpoint the thing. It's totally anonymous, and it alerts out to other people ice is in the area. It's one kind of centralized way to communicate ICE's movements to others.
Got it.
And it's I forgot the rulings on it. It's completely anonymous. They don't collect data. The guy that put it together, who I might have a picture of here, I'm not sure if I dropped it in or not, he will only keep that data that you've sent up for 4 hours, then it's all deleted. You can only post once a day, I think, and you have to be within a 5-mile distance from the area that you post. So, for instance, someone in New York can't post that there are, ice is in LA right now. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Users can submit ice sightings. It alerts users to ice sightings within 5 miles. So you can only see it within 5 miles. It's free, it's anonymous, and seems like an interesting centralized way to get this information out to others. And then if you're nearby, people can show up and physically block, the ice, attacks or kidnappings, abductions.
And they popped this up on the TV news, huh?
They did, yeah. So it came up on CNN, and they interviewed the fellow who put it together.
Wow.
So that's, some progress going forward. I think this can be a very useful thing if more people get connected in it.
Yeah, this seems like a good idea for sure.
Yeah.
There is a network up here of people informing
I wonder how they're doing
basically volunteers who want to go immediately to things that are happening to record and make sure that everything is as legal as it can be, and questioning whether or not they have a legal warrant from a judge and
Right.
that sort of stuff.
Well, here's the thing that Senator Padilla and Cory Booker have unveiled. It's a new bill, and it's called the Visible Act. And this is the one where they want Department of Homeland Security to not be unidentified plainclothes agents. And it's called the Visible Act, which stands for Visible Identification Standards for Immigration-Based Law Enforcement. Visible. And so will this pass through Congress? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not, but they're trying it.
That's what counts.
That's what counts. They're putting it out there as an idea, as a concept. And that's exactly what we need right now. So congratulations, Senator Padilla and Senator Booker. What state is Senator Cory Booker from? Do you remember?
New Jersey.
Is he from Jersey? Okay.
Yeah, you can see it right there. DNJ.
Oh, I didn't see it
Right,
there.
New Jersey.
Ah, okay. Right. So that's out in the forefront. That's kind of good news. Oh, then Trump had to make his comment. Trump says Senators Booker and Padilla hate America. That was his response. Typical.
Yeah, very typical.
You know, the division is so frightening and so wide. I don't know how we can unify the country ever again.
It's interesting because this is the same president who says protesters may not wear masks.
Right.
Do you think there's a double standard there? It's kind of like what they were talking about in the news this morning about how Trump's headed for Texas and the rhetoric that he used against California and the requests he made to redistrict and do all this other stuff and reapportion the water use, et cetera, et cetera. You remember that fiasco. And now with Texas, it's like, hey, don't worry, we got your back. We're going to cover anything you need. No strings to pull at all. You think there's a partisan approach to creating relief for disasters?
Yeah, it's the whole Texas thing's testing basically an immediate test on what they've been doing in their Doge, you know, taking apart FEMA and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Firing of all the federal people. Here it says, last month, the New York Times reported that Donald Trump was considering paving over the grass of the White House Rose Garden and replacing it with a patio similar to something he has in Mar-a-Lago. I think it's partially happened already. I mean, the Rose Garden, you think of it as just being a kind of a legendary place associated with the White House, but he's paving it over.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Joni Mitchell's song.
Yeah, really. They paved Paradise and put up a parking lot. Here are pictures. This is what it looks like currently. What date is this? This is June 20th, so this is still a ways back, but there was a nice little rose garden, which I thought that the rose garden was created by Jacqueline Kennedy, but apparently it was started by Lady Ellen Wilson, president of wife of President Woodrow Wilson in 1913.
Wow.
So it has more history than just Jacqueline Kennedy. But
So how many roses did they rip out?
I think they removed most of them. I'm not sure exactly. I couldn't find a good before and after picture to compare, but maybe those are roses off to the left behind that hedge.
Yeah, I see the white there.
But I think there were some others on this side, on the right side where that ditch is as well. But anyway.
Probably could have auctioned those off for big money. I think he missed an opportunity.
Well, that's the state of affairs of things so far, and some little window into the pain that we have in our lives as Americans, which we're exporting out to other countries, I guess, or other people. 20 minutes is about all What's that?
I said, and on the other hand,
And on the other hand,
when you see that pain and understand what people are feeling, it may inspire acts of compassion, small acts of kindness.
I agree. I think we're just going to have to keep being I want to be a man of peace and bring good things about in my world. I don't feel like we're a hate-filled show. I think we're a pretty sensible show in terms of some of the political voices out there, but that really stuck with me, bearing witness to the pain. Now I can go back I can close my eyes again for another week.
I don't know. Sounds like you're getting a little bit Buddhist on me here.
Yeah, maybe. Just watch the clouds pass by.
That's crazy.
Hey, take care, Eddie.
What are the Giants doing?
I don't know. I haven't followed them, but I can't wait to go to the game.
Have fun.
I will. Take care, Eddie. Thank you for being here, and thank you for anyone listening to A Bold and Distant Future. Come back again, won't you?
Adios.
Bye.